What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back with old nasty recap, honey, of Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 13. This is the reunion part 1. Honey, Miss Robinson is back from her mini vacay. I relaxed, I enjoyed myself with my family, but it's time to get back to work, honey. Who likes to get back to work? Not Miss Robinson, so let me hurry up, y'all, so I can, do another little mini vacay soon, honey, okay? But anyways, the reunion part 1, you guys, I felt was pretty good. I do not understand why they have a 3 parts. Nothing happened during this season that any of us really cared about, honey. Okay, just a few things, it's just a few things I want to discuss as well. Let me get to my best dress. For best dress, I got 3 people. Porsha is number 1. Now, a lot of you guys kept saying, well, she already wore that and her hair like that at one of their other reunions. I don't think it was like slicked back like the way it is at the reunion. I like this better than the Elvis cut that she had, I think, for season 9. But I loved her hair. I loved her earrings. I loved her little jumpsuit she had on. She looked good, slim and trim. Porsha looked good, honey, with a T. Second best dress, I'm gonna have to give it to Kenya. Kenya looked very elegant, very pretty, very regal. She looked nice. And then for third place, I'm gonna have to give it to Cynthia. Cynthia always, I told y'all, she the baddest on this show to me out of all the women on these Real Housewives of Atlanta. To me, she looked better than all the women on Potomac, too. Even Giselle, honey, Cynthia looked better, than her to me. Cynthia is just very beautiful. So she looked really nice. I loved her dress. Okay, so let me do, Drew is going to be after Cynthia and then Candy. I did not like Candy's costume or whatever that was. I get they had the whole dungeon theme, but to me, Candy should have been put in something better than that. And I didn't like Candy's hair either. But she did look the part. Do you see what I'm saying? So she still, looked decent enough. Nobody looked horrible to me at all. Best hair, I'm gonna have to give it to Porsha, number 1, and then we go right back in the order, you guys, of Kenya 2nd, Cynthia 3rd, we'll do Drew, and then we will do Candy last. That's how I see it as far as their looks. All right, honey, so let's get on to this old nasty reunion, honey. Okay, so first, Andy gets to talking to them about COVID and gaining quarantine weight. All the ladies, y'all know, was heavy, when they first came back, last November or whatever. So, the ladies on this show, though, they want to blame it on the pandemic, but you bitches' weight go up and down and around, without the pandemic. And I'm not mad at that. My weight fluctuates too, whether I'm in a pandemic or not. So, but yeah, all the ladies, they look good now. I guess they back at the gym, honey. Okay. But yeah, everybody is, looking good now. Porsha had me cracking up when she got to talking about how she had her assistant go order her a ham. She said she had the same craving she had when she was pregnant, honey, with baby PJ. I thought that was funny. Now, we know Candy was recently in the movie Lust. Was that Lust or Envy? I think that was hers. I didn't like neither one of the movies. Did y'all catch them on Lifetime? Didn't really like them like that. I think T.D. Jakes produced them. I love T.D. Jakes. I just didn't like those movies. Candy says she's still filming The Chi. So that's why she was in a hurry, to lose her little quarantine weight. Oh, Andy got on Porsha about how she was acting in South Carolina, y'all know, with the pig, acting like she was disgusted with it, but still trying to eat on it. And I'm like, Porsha, now you know damn well you ain't no damn vegan, okay? That ass is filled with bacon, shrimp, steak. That damn Porsha is thick as hell, okay? But yeah, she keeps saying, oh, I'm a baby, ain't no damn baby vegan, okay? Andy, y'all know he's shady. He get to asking her, have you had a hot dog? She was like, I ain't had no hot dogs in a while. I bet. Okay. You ain't getting none of Mr. Dennis the Menace no more, honey. Okay, so next we get into Porsha and her social justice storyline. Y'all know with her getting arrested for marching on behalf of Breonna Taylor. How do I feel about that? A lot of you guys feel like it's inauthentic. I watch other reviewers, and a lot of people, they have a way of, I don't know, just kind of saying they don't like Porsha anyway. So her marching and all of this Black Lives Matter stuff, they're just not taking it serious, because of her and her actions. Now, Porsha, where I will get on you is you had no business interfering in the situation that came between Candace and Monique. To me, that's when you look the most suspicious. Okay? Your friend Monique, she was wrong. There was no reason for her to drag that girl the way that she did, and to have you steadily trying to defend her. And this is before Real Housewives of Atlanta started. That really pissed me off. That disgusted me. Because actually, out of Porsha and Monique, I actually like Porsha a little bit more. Because I feel like even though Porsha can be wild, I feel like Porsha is more of herself than Monique Samuels. I think that Monique likes to perform and act, in quotation marks, like a good person, like a good mother, like a good wife. Do you see what I'm saying? It's kind of, everything is a performance. And I feel like with Porsha, she seems more genuine. So that was my issue with her as far as the whole Black Lives Matter thing. I know that they would talk political on this show. I really don't like that, you guys, on this show, but I get it. That's the climate that we are in, and, they have to talk about it. So, I mean, it is what it is, but I don't know. I just don't like it on the show. I just want this show to be fun. They drink, have girls trips, they get into it. We all talk about it, that type of thing. I feel like this, right? When it comes to Porsha and her fighting for injustices against Black people, such as a Breonna Taylor or, anybody else that has lost their lives, unfortunately, through the cops. I just feel like, Porsha, you're taking a very big stance. And I feel like if you want to be taken seriously by people that is watching this show, then your actions are going to have to align in a way where people have respect for you. You just gonna have to carry yourself in a better way. Period. Okay? You gonna have to walk the good walk. That means you may not be able to take up for people like Monique, because it just all makes you look bad. You're sitting up here defending violence, and then in the next breath, with Black Lives Matter, all of a sudden, you're against violence. It's like people, they get confused. Then you got the Bolo situation. I am mature. I know how to not judge her on that. I'm not like judgmental like that. But doing stuff with people like Bolo, that probably ain't the best thing either. Because on these type of shows, if you're going to be taking a big stance, people are going to be looking at all of your actions, right? And they go, and even though one thing really don't have nothing to do with the other, it's all about your behavior and how people will perceive you. And I just wouldn't do that. You could, be freaky, talk your shit, but, don't put yourself in a situation with like the whole Bolo situation where people is saying, well, she had sex with him. And I think she kind of knows better now, you guys. And I don't think that Porsha had sex with Bolo. I believe she was probably grinding that ass and all of that on him. But I personally, I just wouldn't even put myself in that situation. I don't know. I just wouldn't do that. Not on this show. Not with these hoes, honey. Okay? Especially you got that hating ass Kenya Moore. She watching every little thing you do. And that was unfortunate. I didn't like any of that either. But yeah, Porsha, she kind of needs to, work on how she is perceived. But I also will say this. There are a lot of people and a lot of women, black women, I noticed, they really get on Porsha. And they just come at her with so much disdain. And a lot of that is because they are fans of Kenya, right? And they feel the need to defend Kenya over Porsha. And Kenya's so smart, and Kenya's the good person, and she's this, and she's intelligent, and it's just like, this bitch was in a social distancing marriage for most of her marriage. Okay, there's nothing smart about that. Okay, it just isn't. Kenya is no better than Porsha, in my personal opinion. She has made herself look really stupid. And hopefully moving forward, she does not, repeat a lot of the mistakes that she made on this show. Because we had a point in this reunion where Kenya began saying, yeah, but I'm married. Because I think they tried to compare Porsha's relationship with Dennis with Kenya and Mark. And Kenya kept trying to say, yeah, but I'm married. And bitch, don't nobody give a fuck if you're married. You are in a horrible relationship. I will take the relationship with Dennis all day, every day. Give me them goddamn Chanel bags. Okay, I'll open up my own consignment shop and resell them motherfuckers. Okay, I would rather be with Dennis. Then you got people saying, Porsha's so superficial. No, Kenya is superficial. Kenya got with that man. I don't care what any of you all say. Because she wanted her baby to look a certain way. And I know a lot of you all don't want to hear that, but that is what I truly believe. I think she wanted her child to look a certain way. And Mark, he got the genes. I mean, little baby Brooklyn is beautiful. I'm sure whoever Kenya would have had a baby with, the baby would have been attractive. Kenya is attractive. Do I think that Kenya thinks she's as attractive as she tries to make it out that she is? No, I don't. And actually, I got a video coming up when she was actually going to sperm banks and looking for somebody with, looking to make a baby with a man with green eyes. She wanted the child to have all these superficial features. But then you all will swear up and down, well, Porsha's so superficial and she only cares about how she looks. She wants to look nice. Okay, like you be having these manly looking ass bitches hating on Porsha. I'm not with it. What is up? Okay, so I don't, you guys, I see everything. And I don't like that. A lot of these women, they don't even look as good as Porsha and be talking about her like a dog. Now, it's one thing to question the social justice storyline, right? That's fine. But all this attacking her, putting herself together, what woman want to go out here looking like a damn man and looking all manly and being all masculine? Like, that's not who Porsha is. That's who you bitches is that's judging her. Okay, I said what I said, and what I said was no bullshit, okay? So that's how I feel about that. They also talked about Georgia turning blue, and Porsha shouted out Stacey Abrams and how she's her shero. They also talked about Drew being a part of Porsha's PSA. It wasn't even on the show. I'm like, why y'all didn't put it in the damn show? But we see Lauren, her Porsha's sister, she was a part of it as well. And whoever wrote into the show, they talked about Drew and Porsha's friendship. I like them as friends. Another thing I'm not understanding with the reunion and just with the show period is I don't understand why so many people dislike Drew. I'm trying to figure out, what did she do so bad? Yes, she has had some off moments. Yes, she has did shit, you guys, like with the whole Toya situation. That was stupid, right? But all these bitches on this show, they all do stuff that's stupid and not right. But I'm just trying to figure out, what did Drew do? You know, where people just hate her and just, you know, they have such a bad opinion about her. The common thing I keep hearing, you guys, is Drew is trying too hard for the show. A lot of people feel like that. Put it in my comments if you feel like that. I feel like that a little bit, but to me, I don't dislike her. She has not did anything to like make me hate on her or come at her in a negative way. Period. Okay, so let's get on Kenya not being asked to participate in Porsha's PSA. Kenya, what is the damn problem? You don't even believe in her activism. You feel like it's fake. You feel like she's being arrested for no reason and she just wants attention and, you know, she just wants to look a certain way. And if y'all really pay attention to it, I just caught it as I'm speaking, but we see the good, right, that Porsha has did with the activism, because it is good. You know, she did a lot of stuff, you guys, I personally don't see myself doing. So I give her props for even, you know, putting herself, you know, in certain situations. Right? She got this big platform. She could have easily made her storyline about herself. She's very giving in that way. I do feel like a part of that is legit that's coming from Porsha. But like I said before, she does kind of need to watch her behavior in other ways. That way she can be perceived and taken seriously. Okay? But Kenya is full of shit. And like Porsha said, Kenya, what were you doing while you throwing hate on Porsha's name on what she's doing, you know, politically and, you know, with the whole social activism? What are you doing? You at home crying over some nigga that don't want you, that's in another state. That's what you're doing. So you get your shit together, bitch. Okay? She looked absolutely ridiculous, you guys. I forgot to say the part that I was thinking, you guys, about Kenya. Kenya wanted people to remember that Porsha is a hoe. She did all this activism. That was the whole investigating the Bolo situation, right? So, yeah, you out here doing all this good for the world, all this marching, you know, for Breonna Taylor, you getting arrested, but let me make you into a whore. Let me say what I heard and all of this bullshiggity honey with Bolo. Okay? That's what Kenya did. It just baffles me that her followers, y'all are down for that. Y'all think that that's intelligent. Y'all think that it's cool to malign another black woman. Moving on. So Andy mentions that Kenya is actually proud of Porsha's activism. I'm proud that you went out there, but I still question certain things. You don't like her. That's what it is. And yes, some of, you know, what Porsha has did is questionable. I'm not knocking people that question her activism. I'm really not, but I don't get how y'all are so in support of Kenya and the shit that she do, though. The shitty stuff that she does. And we're going to get to it when it comes up about Drew, because that really pissed me off. And I think y'all know what part, honey, that I'm talking about. But yeah, Kenya, you full of it. You don't support nothing that Porsha has did. You're not proud of it because you wouldn't keep having a counter problem to anything that she said. You keep complaining. You keep throwing insults and hate. So I'm proud of you, but I'm coming with the hate. I'm coming with the insults. Make it make sense. Behavior reflects intentions, right? Okay. So next, Andy gets to asking Porsha about where does things stand with her and Dennis, and she just says that they're doing a good job of transitioning into being co-parents, and I'm happy for them. I'm happy for them. All I got to say is, Porsha, I don't want to see you in family photos with him and then you going back with him. Don't do all of that, girl. Move on with your life. Baby PJ is a blessing. I think that's what you wanted out of this situation, and you got it. Her father is a great provider. You know, take the good things out of, you know, the situation with Dennis. So, you know, that's good. I'm glad that she's moving on. She said she went out on a date and it was horrible and the guy was way too young. And guess who set her up on the damn date? That crazy ass LaToya. I wouldn't go nowhere with nobody LaToya is hooking me up with, okay? Because ain't the man she with bisexual? I'm just saying, make it make sense. So Andy gets to Kenya's segment and he asks the ladies, did you guys know that Kenya was in Waiting to Exhale? Here go Kenya. Yeah, my first movie role. Yeah, your first 3-minute role. Okay, girl. All right. Child, did any of you guys catch Kenya's face when they was showing all those clips of the situation with her and Mark, and how Drew and Porsha actually took up for her, you know, because LaToya was out here telling all her business. Even Candy was the person that was, you know, saying all the business about how Mark wants a divorce and he's about to fight her for custody and, you know, all of that. So Andy asks Kenya where do things lie with her and Mark, and Kenya says they are still in court, but she has won sole custody. I'm very happy for her. She should get it. She's the one that's with that baby, you know, most of the time. So very happy for her when it comes to that. She also mentions that Mark didn't want baby Brooklyn on the show. Mark, I could strangle your ass. We want that beautiful baby on the show, honey. Okay, how you doing, Miss Brooklyn? Look like we're gonna see some more Brooklyn in the future, and I'm happy about that because I really love that baby. She is a very happy baby. So Kenya mentions that she has filed for divorce. Finally, bitch. Okay, been about 3 years. You should have been and did that. It's still more semantics and BS with her and Mark, because Andy gets to asking her about, you know, Mark filing for the alimony, and Kenya said, Mark told me that we misinterpreted New York law. Y'all remember the first time he tried to file that. Andy is like, well, do you believe that? And Kenya is like, well, he's not asking for it now. Girl, why are you defending that man? But yeah, Mark wouldn't get shit from me, honey. Okay, shit, he'll get some goddamn gummy bear crumbs and some popcorn seeds. Okay, how you doing, Mark? Okay, so next, Andy gets a comment from somebody on social media stating that out of the clips that we just saw, it was actually Candy telling all of Kenya's business about Mark trying to, you know, get alimony and trying to get custody and divorce her, all of that. And the person was like, well, you see that it was Candy that started up the initial conversation, so why were you so mad at Toya? And Kenya said that she's, you know, did have some words with Candy over that situation, but she feels like Candy cares for her. And so does Don Juan. So she wasn't really that upset when she saw, you know, them talking about it. It was the fact that LaToya was telling her business to people that clearly didn't care for her. And I understood that. I felt like that was fair enough. So next we get a comment from somebody on social media, and they basically say to Andy, basically for Cynthia and Candy, they had issues with Kenya staying with Mark for so long, you know, all the back and forth, and why would she stay with him? And Candy said it bothered her because she did like Mark, but she didn't feel like Mark was good for Kenya because Kenya was clearly unhappy for most of the marriage. So she felt like Kenya was leaving herself in limbo. And I agree with everything that Candy said. I paid attention, you guys, to what Cynthia said, and Cynthia said, well, it looked like, you know, Mark just wanted to fight Kenya for everything. I don't feel like that's really what Cynthia meant. I think with Cynthia and Kenya's friendship, and a lot of people are not going to mention this, honey, it probably goes right over their heads, but it don't go over mine. I feel like Cynthia kind of watches what she says because she knows that it will go back to season 9. Remember when she interfered with Matt. Y'all remember when Matt and Kenya was together? And they were breaking up, you know, getting back together, all that type of stuff. Like her and Mari, same pattern of behavior, right? Kenya didn't like that, and remember, she ended up storming off. So Cynthia, you know, I watched her on the reunion. Candy on more or less don't care, you know, very direct. I'm gonna tell you how I feel. Okay, I noticed she kind of has that with Kenya. Cynthia doesn't. It's like, well, let me try to watch, you know, because some of what was said is true, right? Mark does try to fight Kenya on things when it comes to Brooklyn, but you could tell Cynthia wanted to say a bit more. And she, you know, she can't, honey, because her master, honey, would get her. Kenya, her delusional ass, sits up there and says, well, I really think if it wasn't for the pandemic, we would have been able to see each other more and possibly see if our relationship would work. No. If anything, the pandemic would have brought y'all together. Okay. That's a heart space. So when you see two people that are together, that want to be together, they had to fight a lot of hardship to do that. You didn't see Cynthia and Mike living in two different states. Do you see what I'm saying? He's clearly was living in California, but he made sure to be by his woman. She was a priority. Kenya, you were never a priority. I'm going to need you to let that go and tell the truth. Shame the devil. So their marriage was never going to work because Mark was not into it. I just don't think he was into her like that. I think he was attracted to her, but I think it was something in her personality he did not particularly like. I also feel like Kenya, it was something with Mark Kenya didn't like. She probably felt like he was arrogant and selfish. And, you know, I kind of see a little bit of that in Mark. So I just think these two people, they didn't like each other like that. And, you know, it happens. Child, that motherfucker Andy is so shady. I thought they was gonna do a Giselle Bryant, honey. Y'all remember on Potomac when Monique said Jamal Bryant's phone number, and then Andy was like, is that his number? And then Giselle, yeah, that's his number. So they talk about Mark blocking Kenya. And Andy was like, kind of was laughing about it a little bit. He was like, well, has he blocked you after that? Or, you know, how many more times has he blocked you? And Kenya was like, oh, he hasn't blocked me. He's recently unblocked me. And then here go that shady ass Andy. Should we call his phone? Bitch! That motherfucking Andy is a trip. But I was mad that they didn't call Mark's number. Here go, Kenya. I'm sure he go answer. I'm sure. Bitch, girl. This is why the lies, and the delusions and the Lifetime Movie Character Award goes to Miss Kenya Moore, honey. This is why I can't do Kenya like that. I can't. She's entertaining, you guys, and good for the show, but I will never go up for her like that. Too damn delusional. And that's not smart. Not to me. Okay? But that shit was funny. Okay, so Andy gets another comment from social media, and the person says something very interesting, something that I've been saying on this channel for a long time. The person basically says that they feel like Kenya enters into destructive relationships due to the relationship that Kenya has or does not have with her mom. And Kenya admitted to that. You guys, my heart dropped. I just told y'all Kenya Moore is not my girl. But the fact that she swallowed that and accepted that and admitted to that was everything to me. I bullshit y'all not. It was everything for her to be like, yeah, that's true. Like, to acknowledge, to just flat out keep it real. I loved it, Kenya. I love that. I really do. Because that means there just may, okay, I think it's a slight chance, maybe a little bit of a chance for you to get your delusions together, honey. But yeah, her getting that, you guys, everything to me. Loved it. Kenya admitted that in her relationships with men, she tends to chase something, which is the love that she did not get from her mother. So that's why she's always trying to prove herself. And that's why she did this whole song and dance with Mark, giving him chance after chance, just wanting, this situation to really work. We saw it with Matt and, some of the other people that she has been with. So, like I said, you guys, love that part. That was everything. I was a bit ticked off about Kenya Moore's mother, right? Kenya Moore's mother sent cards and toys and clothes to Kenya on behalf of Brooklyn. She wanted to do something nice for her grandchild. That is a very nice gesture. And it seemed like Kenya was really happy about that, right? Because we all saw her, I think that was season 9, go up to her mom's door and that lady refused to open the door. I felt so bad for Kenya. Y'all know she's not my favorite, but human being to human being, that moment was touching. Okay, that's a storyline, okay, if I've ever seen one. So, really like that storyline because I think it's very relatable, right? But I don't like this whole thing of I'm going to acknowledge my grandchild, but I'm not going to acknowledge you. My mom tried to do that shit with me. And y'all know I had a completely different relationship with my mom than Kenya had with hers. Like, I've traveled with my mom. We went several places. Hotels, casinos. We've drank together. She's bought my daughter all types of stuff. Like, very different. But I remember my mom would, when I was trying to, get her out of my life, she kept trying to have this relationship with Shammy. And I'm just looking like, if you can't have no relationship with the woman that made Shammy, then bitch, ain't no Shammy for you. Okay? Like, I don't play that. You acknowledge your child. You don't do this shit with the grandkids. That's just so out of order. It's very, I don't know. I think Kenya feels acknowledged because of Brooklyn, but Kenya, you deserve to be acknowledged because your name is Kenya and this lady gave birth to you. And even if she don't want you in her life, she still can acknowledge you and send you things, I don't know how she would do it, you guys, but all this just acknowledging Brooklyn and ignoring your daughter, like, that shit is not cool to me. But I think that Kenya is at a point where it's better than nothing. And that's the sad part about it, right? But to me, it's still wrong. Y'all get down in the comments. Tell me y'all opinions. Do y'all feel a way about the mother acknowledging Brooklyn, but not ever acknowledging Kenya, or it took Brooklyn for her to pay Kenya some attention? Let me know how you feel. Okay, so let's get to this little thing with Drew and Kenya. They get on Kenya for they get on Drew for coming for Kenya's marriage, right? Somebody on social media sent the question about that. they show the clip where Kenya clearly called Drew a stray. I think she was specifically talking to Drew. She did say strays with an S, but I think she was specifically talking about Drew. Drew took that as she was talking about her and her husband. With fairness, you guys, Kenya came for Drew first. Because remember, she was buddy-buddy with Toya, and they got to talking about Drew's hair, and it all kind of started from there. Drew came on very nice, to everybody, and then, like I said, they began messing with her, and Drew was like, oh, not today, and bitch, tomorrow don't look good either. Y'all ain't gonna be talking to me any kind of way. So they have this social media post where Drew says the definition of a stray: not in the right place, separated from a target. My family is all together under the roof. Girl, you good. And that was a shot at Kenya. Kenya, I don't feel sorry for you. You deserve that. You cannot have this situation with Mark where you got this fucked up marriage and you think that ain't nobody gonna talk about it. And I know a lot of people will say, well, Drew, her marriage ain't no better with Ralph, this, that, and the third. It is better than Kenya's. Okay, a lot of y'all don't want to admit to certain things, but I'm here to admit it for you. It is better. That man act like he want to be with Drew. Yeah, he disappeared for 3 days, but he brought his ass back home. We have not seen Mark do that. I'm just saying. Her man is more into her. And let me bring this up because a lot of y'all didn't peep this. But even on that last episode where Drew had her child's father, baby daddy, and her husband, that was big for her to have 2 men there to help with her child. Meanwhile, Kenya, what do you have? You don't have a village. Mark is in New York. He pretty much leaves you on your own. This girl got 2 men helping her. You have 0. So, and I know a lot of people will be like, well, you trying to defend a person that got a man, and pretty much, I mean, that says a lot about Drew. Okay, I know a lot of y'all ain't gonna see that like that, but she got a husband that care for her. I like how Ralph was talking to old daddy. I don't really like that name, but it is what it is. I like that all of them was coming together to, help facilitate a relationship between Drew's son, Josiah, and his father. All of that is beautiful. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's all more than what Kenya Moore has. Okay. So she had every right. Kenya shoots back at the reunion and says, well, all of your family isn't under one roof. Your baby daddy was under the roof of a jail. That's not a read. That's her baby daddy. She still has a husband, bitch, that lives in a house with her, that helps her with the kids that they got together and with the kid that's not even his. That man seemed like he cares for her and them kids way more than Mark ever cared for you, Kenya. So what I see, and a lot of y'all go argue with me, but I see somebody that's jealous. Okay, and Kenya is jealous of that. She wishes that was her. But Kenya, you just play the game, wrong. You play the game just all the way wrong. You got way too many masculine ways. Drew don't have those ways. That's why she got help from these men. Okay? I'm just gonna call it like I see it. I know y'all ain't gonna like it, but it is what it is. She doing something right, bitch, because she got 2 over there helping her and you got 0. Nothing. I also didn't like that comment about the baby daddy being under the roof of a jail, because that's her baby daddy and his choices, and you are talking about her son's father. That is a low blow. That baby ain't got nothing to do with what his daddy do. So you shouldn't, keep the kids out of it. Keep the baby daddies out of it. Okay? You the main one that had a big issue with Nene calling you a damn buffalo when you was pregnant. And a lot of people want to compare those and be like, well, she was talking about Kenya's daughter. No, she wasn't. She was talking about Kenya. Okay, she was talking about how big you was. She also talked about Porsha when she was pregnant. She was fat shaming y'all. Okay, being petty, being, underhanded. I mean, that's what y'all do. Y'all hit below the belt. But see, all this bringing a child into it and they father, and I'm not with that. And Kenya Moore fans, please defend that, please. I'm sure none of y'all have, a good defense, but she was underhanded for that. That was wrong to me. Okay, so next, Andy gets on Kenya about wearing the Native American costume that she wore on the show. And Kenya says that she's, she has Native Americans in her family and she didn't know it was going to be so offensive. Kenya mentions that she talked to an organization called Illumi Native, where they explained to her why her costume was offensive because it shouldn't be a costume. And I agree. She shouldn't have wore that, but she felt bad enough about it. She apologized. I guess Bravo apologized as well. So she learned her lesson, is what it looked like. I didn't really understand Porsha's point about the whole Underground Railroad. Yes, Kenya was shady for that, but I also think that those two things are separate. So yeah, she may be shaming you, Porsha, for Black Lives Matter because of certain things you may have said or did, right, in regards to the movement, and she doesn't truly support your activism. That's her opinion, her right, whatever. She made a comment about you and the Underground Railroad. I kind of see a little bit where Porsha was saying, but I don't think she articulated it the best, and it kind of went over people's heads. Yeah, she said some shady stuff, Kenya did, about Porsha and the Underground Railroad. But I think Porsha's point was, why are you bringing it back up years later? I have educated myself because that was irresponsible for me to not know anything about the Underground Railroad. And my grandfather was a leader in civil rights and this, that, and the third. So Kenya got on Drew and Porsha's sister Lauren for making, for wearing Native American wear. So, child, I ain't got time. Who cares? So Andy gets to asking Drew's husband, where was he at in Tampa? Y'all know he disappeared for 3 days. I guess he went and got him a room, went to dinner by himself, had the receipts for it. Drew says that they are in counseling, honey, every Monday to work on this marriage. Do I believe her husband? No, because I feel like anybody can get a receipt to make it look like they was there by themselves. That doesn't necessarily mean he's cheating, but he was hiding something. And like Candy said, he could have been shared all the information of his whereabouts. So, it's too late to turn back now. Okay, last but not least, let's get on this situation with Kenya versus Drew. Kenya retweeted something on Twitter that it turns out my girl YouTuber, What's the T-Sis, is the original tweeter of the tweet, honey. Okay, y'all go to her channel to see what I'm talking about. I guess the tweet said that Drew's son should be playing Minecraft or something. He shouldn't be forced to talk about his situation with his old daddy on this show, and it's cringy. That is a storyline, okay? This is a real, genuine, juicy storyline. The rest of this shit with Bolo is not a storyline. All this Black Lives Matter stuff, I don't really want to see it on the show because it ain't got nothing to do with nothing. That is what it, that's what it's called to have a real storyline, okay? So I love that storyline with Drew trying to make things work with Josiah's biological dad. I love that Ralph is helping her with that. Kenya, you shut your ass up. You shouldn't have had nothing to say about nothing. Drew ended up crying. You know, she was in her feelings, but I understood, you know, where she was coming from. Do I think Kenya wants Drew's husband? Absolutely not. I think she just noticed he was a nice looking guy. Kenya apologized for what she put Phaedra through with Apollo. She was wrong for that. That's the inappropriate behavior. This thing with Drew and her husband, I think it's harmless. She was just thinking that he was cute. You was staring a little bit too long, Kenya, but other than that, that ain't no big deal to me. All right, you guys, that's all I got. We'll talk about LaToya on part 2. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.